Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I've put out quite a lot of videos on various bits of the refurbishment of the car and getting things sorted out, and engine and gearbox, that sort of thing. But I realised I haven't actually done an overall video showing where I've got to so far with the recommissioning, refurb of the Elan. So that's what today's video is all going to be about what I've done so far and things I plan to do and what I really need to do next. Hopefully you enjoy it, and if you do, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Well, that's the engine bay. You can see the engine's in. I've connected up all of the hoses and what have you. Still a few bits to do. Haven't put the windscreen washer thing on. I've bought a new one of those. The old one was a thing that fitted in here. It's completely corroded and fallen apart. I need to change the clamp on here. There's the servo, which you probably saw in the last video I refurbed. Manifolds on, all these pipes are in, we clipped all the lines. So yeah, it's very much there to go really. The only thing I do need to do is, before I put the carbs on, the fuel pump, this union down here, this connection, there you can see that here. When I took the old fuel pump off, I couldn't get the line disconnected, so I had to actually cut the hose going into the fuel pump and put a new olive on the end, put the fitting back in. But it looks like the fitting's bottomed out on this top bit of the nut here, and I don't know whether it's clamped the actual pipe with the olive inside. So before I put all this on, I want to energize the I'll put the battery in the car, turn it over and see if I can get some fuel pumped up and pressurize it a bit and see whether it leaks or not, because I don't really want the hassle of having to take the carbs off again once I put them on. What else have I done here? Obviously the pedal box, that was refurbished and put in. So yeah, generally ready to go the engine wise. So that's probably one of the next things to do, is to connect up the battery, turn the engine over, hopefully get some oil pressure up as well, and check this this leak on this fuel pump. Yeah, I've made a new sort of closing piece for the steering column where it comes out of the footwell. There was a sort of a plate there before which was just open to the engine bay, so made up an aluminium collar and used a ball joint rubber to sort of seal it off. So that's looking a bit neater. So yeah, I've had all this fan apart, checked all that, painted the fan stays, all this metalwork here has been repainted, changed all the bolts here. I replumbed the vacuum system, still got to connect that up. You can sort of see it there, this is all new, but also all the pneumatic lines, all the vacuum lines, I've changed all of those. There's new fittings on the valve here, a new pipe, so that's all been done. Got all the wheels off and taking the brake calipers off because they need refurbishing. That'll be probably a subject of another video, although there's lots of people have done things about brake calipers, so maybe I won't bother with that. But needless to say, they were pretty seized up, so I've put some new piston kits and seal kits for those. So I've got the ones off the front, but I'm now trying to, that's today's job, is trying to get the calipers off the back. And it has been causing a few problems, this this dirt shield is held on with 4 tiny bolts, and you can see from the marks I had to cut the heads off the bolts at the front here, and then at the back unfortunately they undid, but they're captive bolts, so I'm going to have to get this plate off and renew those studs bolts that were there. But as you can see, the Jubilee clip that holds all this together, that's sort of seized on at the moment, so the screws come out of the middle of it. I just need to release the band and hopefully that will come off with all the brake pipes. I'm probably going to replace well, I've certainly replaced the rubber brake lines. The metal brake lines seem to be okay. In fact, the rubber ones are okay, but God knows how old they are, and they're not cracked or anything. But I think, well, I've got it all apart, I might as well put some new ones on. And then I've got to get these calipers off and just check. And again, I'll overhaul those, change the seals and the pistons probably, if they're all okay, not too damaged. So that's, as I said, that's the day's job. Inside the car, it's all pretty intact, other than I had all the internals out because I was trying to get to see whether there's any access to the prop shaft, and there isn't really. There's a flap here in the carpet, but there's nothing under it. You've got to physically cut the fiberglass of the tunnel, and there's a hole there. But even if I did that, I don't think I could get onto the nuts on the drive shaft. And there's a bit of internal trim that needs putting back. And there's my anti-sizzle rubber replacement, and the gear lever stuck in the gearbox. Got to put all that back together. Other than that, it's that won't take long. That's in quite good nick. So that's it. The next thing to do is, once I've sorted out make sure the fuel pump's not leaking, put the carbs on, and then it's attempt an engine start. And then once that's running, then I need to just finish off the brakes, and hopefully that will be it back on the road for the time being. I will do the suspension rubbers and stuff before I use it seriously though, because again, they're 50 years old and I've had it, I think. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have, please don't forget to subscribe and like, and I'll catch you in the next video.